Walk into any room, a business meeting, a job interview, a networking event, or even open LinkedIn. Within just a few seconds, people you've never met are already forming an opinion about you. Before they hear your ideas. Before they know your experience. Before they discover what you're actually capable of. The surprising part is, most of those first impressions are almost impossible to notice. Yet they influence who gets trusted, who gets remembered, and who gets ignored. That's why two people with the same qualifications can end up with completely different opportunities. One becomes the obvious choice. The other quietly disappears into the crowd. The difference isn't always talent. It's perception. And perception is where personal branding begins. The world's most influential people understand this. Before people believed in their companies, they believed in them. Their values. Their vision. Their reputation. In today's world, your name can become your strongest asset, or your biggest limitation. So the real question isn't whether you have a personal brand. The real question is, are you building it intentionally, or letting other people build it for you? That's exactly what we're about to uncover. Have you ever wondered why some people walk into a room and instantly command attention? Not because they're the smartest. Not because they're the richest. But because people naturally listen when they speak. That isn't luck. And it isn't confidence alone. Your brain is constantly making invisible decisions about everyone you meet. Can this person be trusted? Do they know what they're talking about? Should I pay attention? All of those questions are answered within seconds, long before a single fact is verified. That's why the same advice can sound ordinary coming from one person, and life-changing coming from another. This psychological shortcut is known as the halo effect. When one strong positive impression quietly shapes everything else people believe about you. That's why credibility is never built by saying, "Trust me." It's built by showing up consistently. Sharing real value. Keeping your promises. And letting your actions speak louder than your words. Because before people believe your message, they decide whether they believe you. And that single decision can change every opportunity that follows. Open your phone. Scroll through any social media platform. Within seconds, you'll see hundreds of people trying to get your attention. Some disappear the moment you scroll past. Others stay in your mind for years. Why? It isn't because they post more. Or because they have the most followers. It's because every piece of content quietly answers one question: is this person worth listening to? Every article. Every video. Every podcast. Every idea you share becomes evidence of who you are. That's why the strongest personal brands don't chase attention. They earn it, one valuable insight at a time. One helpful post at a time. One meaningful conversation at a time. Over time, people stop seeing your content as just information. They begin seeing it as proof of your expertise. And once that happens, your audience doesn't just follow your content. They follow your thinking. Because in the digital world, content isn't just something you create. It's your reputation, working for you, even when you're offline. Search your own name online. Within seconds, a version of you appears. Your posts. Your comments. Your achievements. Your mistakes. Even the things you forgot you shared years ago. Welcome to your digital reputation. A place where every action quietly becomes part of your personal brand. The surprising part is, people don't need to meet you anymore to form an opinion. Your online presence often introduces you, long before you ever say hello. That's why one thoughtful post can build credibility. And one careless decision can damage years of trust. Because reputation isn't created by what you claim. It's created by what people consistently see. The most respected professionals understand this. They don't just manage their content. They manage their character. Because every reply, every promise, every interaction leaves another piece of evidence behind. And over time, those small moments become the story people believe about you. That's why your personal brand isn't defined by your profile. It's defined by your reputation. And your reputation keeps working, even when you've logged off. A personal brand becomes truly powerful the moment people start talking about you, even when you're not in the conversation. That's when something extraordinary begins to happen. Followers become supporters. Supporters become advocates. And advocates slowly become a community. The interesting part is, communities are never built overnight. And they are never built by chasing attention alone. They're built by consistently creating value. Showing up when people need help. Answering questions. Sharing knowledge. Keeping promises. And earning trust one interaction at a time. Over time, people stop sharing your content because it's entertaining. They start sharing it because they genuinely believe someone else will benefit from it. That's how every strong personal brand grows. Not through advertisements. Not through viral moments. But through thousands of small recommendations made by real people. One conversation. One recommendation. One shared experience. One inspired person at a time. Eventually, your audience no longer feels like an audience. It becomes a community connected by shared values, shared learning, and shared trust. And that's when something remarkable happens. Your growth no longer depends only on algorithms. It begins to depend on people who willingly carry your message forward. Because trust travels much faster through people than it ever can through advertising. What is a personal brand? It's not your logo or followers, it's how people feel after interacting with you. It's the trust you build and the value you give. People forget content, but remember character. Trends change, trust doesn't. Attention makes you visible. Trust makes you unforgettable. So ask, what will people remember about me? Your brand is your reputation. Because everything changes, except trust. That's the power of personal branding. Thank you for watching. If this helped, share it and subscribe. Created by Surbhi Gupta.